Hi, welcome to 815 YMCA On Demand. My name is Eliza, and today we'll be doing a very basic beginner yoga class designed to help people who are completely new to yoga have some confidence with stepping into a live class for the first time. And if you're a more experienced yogi, you may find that these tips bring you a little more mindful into your poses as you go through. So this class is for everyone, but it is going to be very basic. We'll go through some of the basic foundational postures in yoga. So what you'll need today is, if you have access to a yoga mat, obviously grab that, but any soft space like carpeting or a soft towel on a hard surface will be fine, or maybe a rug, whatever you have available to you. You'll just need a flat surface. All right, so with that, we'll arrive to our mat. Let's get started. Our first posture today will be mountain pose, or Tadasana in the Sanskrit. We'll start with our feet hip distance apart. So if you need a gauge of where that's at, take two fists together, place them between your big toe ball mounds, and that'll be about where your feet should end up underneath your hips. Okay? Make sure you can feel the connection to the earth with all 4 points of your feet. So find your big toes, your pinky toes, and 2 points at the back of the heel. Just notice that connection. Start to lift through the kneecaps. Press the thighs back in space. Soften your tailbone down toward the earth. Tighten up through the core, maybe bring the belly button in just a bit. We'll soften the collarbones off to the side. Reach down mindfully with the fingertips, shine the palms forward, that feels good, and reach up to the stars with the back of your skull. Here you should feel completely engaged throughout the entire body. You'll feel strong, stable, and grounded. So to arrive on our mat, generally we'll just sit and connect to our breath for a few beats. So as we're standing, I will not ask you to close your eyes, but if you'd like to soften your gaze, just let your gaze fall out of focus for a bit as we breathe. So let's take a few breaths here, very mindfully breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. As you breathe in, notice the temperature and texture of the air. And as you breathe out, notice if there's any changes to that temperature or texture. As you breathe, notice the breath, spreading your ribs front to back, side to side, in all directions. And as you exhale, feel your body softening and warming. One more breath, taking the breath all the way down underneath the belly button, maybe puffing the lower abs up a bit. And then just really elongating the exhale, really coming into your body, coming into your practice. Just feeling that warmth, grounding, and just being present right here, right now. All right, it's time to move on to our next posture. So from our mountain pose, we'll move on to our upward hand pose, or Ardha Hastasana. So let's turn our palms up toward the sky, sweep the palms up, reach up with the fingertips, reach high, spin the pinky tips in, and then just relax your shoulders away from your ears. This posture creates a lot of space through the chest. Maybe you find it easy to breathe. Maybe you feel extra tall. So from here, we'll come to our Uttanasana, or forward fold. So let's start on an in-breath. And as you exhale, soften through the knees, hinge through the hips, and begin to reach down toward the earth with your fingertips. And I'll show you from the side. We'll just keep a nice soft bend through the knees. Feel the connection continuing with your feet. Knees can be softly bent depending on how your back is feeling, or maybe you straighten those legs, drop the crown of the head down toward the earth, and take your eye gaze through the back of your legs. Maybe draw the belly button up just a bit, and just allow your shoulders and head to hang, creating space through the neck and the back, and tuning in to how you're feeling here. If this posture causes any tingling down of your legs or pain, forward folds are probably not for you. So it's perfectly okay to come back to a standing posture or deeply bend through the knees to protect your lower back. Let's take one more breath here just to feel whatever sensations come to you here in your first forward fold. Good. Next we'll move on to our chair posture, Utkatasana. So this is a big leg strengthener. We'll start by placing the weight in our heels. We'll inhale, sweep the arms back by our hips, and as we exhale, we'll bring our arms up and forward, biceps by the ears, sitting back in kind of like you're sitting down into a chair. So make sure you're keeping that belly button back toward the spine, maybe not popping the butt out, but keeping a long, straight spine. You could feel a little bit of stress in your thighs or your quadriceps here. It's a big strength pose. And a variation on this posture, if your arms or shoulders are not feeling this, is always just to bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart space. Let's breathe here for 2 cycles, just feeling this chair posture. Maybe going a little bit deeper, if it feels okay to do so. Feeling that connection through all 4 points of the feet, just like in our mountain pose. Specifically in the heels as well. Feel your glutes and legs work. Let's go ahead, take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, slowly come back up to your mountain pose. Good. All right. Our next posture that we'll demonstrate and work through is down dog. But in order to get there, we need to create some space on our mat. So if you have your mat laid out horizontally like I do, just come to the back edge of your mat to give yourself some room to work. All right. Reconsolidate your mountain pose. Feet underneath hips, thighs engaged, tail soft, abs are working, reaching down toward the earth, and we'll begin on another inhale. As we inhale, come back up to upward hand pose, stretch high, and on your exhale, hinge from the hip, come down to your forward fold. Hang out for a breath here, just to feel that forward fold action one more time. And then we'll walk our palms out about 4.5 feet in front of you to come to our downward facing dog. So walk those palms out. You'll be able to feel kind of through your own body where the best width is for you. So once you feel like you're kind of making the shape, make a big even press through both palms, spreading the fingers wide. Knees can be soft. Heels can stay up off of the ground. There's no need to get them down there at this point. Scoop the tail up toward the sky and actively press your chest toward your thighs and thighs toward your chest. Lifting through the tail. And again, taking the eye gaze through the back of the legs so that you can release through the neck. Downward facing dog is a great place to shake out the neck, maybe nod, shake a few times, release any kinks through the neck and the upper shoulders that have built up. And of course, as you can, if it feels good, you can start to bring your heels toward the earth any amount. Feel the stretch along the back of the legs, Feel the strength in the shoulders. Draw that belly up to give yourself some space here. And keep breathing. Very nice. From our down dog posture, we'll come down to tabletop. So super simple here. We'll start on an in-breath. And on your out-breath, gently lower your knees toward the earth. If you had your down dog set up just right, you'll kind of come right into this perfect posture with hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. But of course, if you're a little bit off, that's okay. Just change your position whenever you need to make sure you're aligned properly. Feel the tops of your feet press into the earth. Feel all 10 fingers spread wide like starfish. Draw the belly into your spine just a little bit. And imagine making a long flat board with your back, that if you were to set anything on top, you would not lose anything would roll off. It'd be nice and flat, just like a table. So this promotes grounding and stability, strength in the shoulders, and just some peace of mind here. All right. From here, a common pose to move into is our cat-cow postures. So it's a Marjanasana, I believe is the Sanskrit for the cat stretch. So we start on an inhale. We drop the chest down, tip the tail up any amount. And as we exhale, press the floor away, open up through the shoulder blades, drop the crown of the head down. And as we inhale, once again, chest comes down. And as we exhale, press away. Usually these are done in several sets, so you can really warm your spine through flexion and extension, starting with small movements and being very protective of the back, especially on that rounded portion. Try to round through the lumbar spine. It really doesn't want to move that way, but this will get nice movement through all of the parts of your back. Following the breath, inhale to drop, exhale to round. All right, let's meet in neutral. We'll go through a couple of our rest poses. So our first one that I love to demonstrate, because it's very accessible, very restful, is puppy posture. So just walk your hands out in front of you. I lost my mic. There we go. Walk your hands out in front of you. Seat stays up, and just melt the chest down toward the earth. You may rest your forehead on the earth if that feels good. And just breathe. You should feel a stretch here through the shoulders, through the back, and maybe just a little bit of relaxation. And keep breathing. And if you're feeling comfortable in this shape, maybe you'll try going back to extended child's pose by rounding through the lower back, bringing the sit bones down toward the heels for Balasana, child's pose. It's a great rest pose to stretch through the spine. Maybe take time to roll through the wrists. If any of our postures that put pressure on your hands and wrists cause any tension, there's a great place just to put some movement into the wrists and arms, maybe the shoulders. It's one of these tips and tricks is that you don't have to hold a pose in a static, stiff posture. If it feels good to move around a little bit, Just go with it. All right. Start to scoot our seat closer to the other edge of our mat so that we can come all the way down to a supine position. All right, we've got one more thing to do before we move into Shavasana, or our final pose of the day, and that's Happy Baby. Just a wonderful back release here. So bring your knees up over your chest. Take the soles of the feet to the sky. Hold on to the back of the thighs and begin to draw the thighs out alongside the ribs. If you have it available, you're welcome to catch your feet in your hands. Relax the shoulders and tail. And maybe rock from right to left and left to right. It's our happy baby. You can take any last stretches that you know your body needs that maybe aren't official yoga postures. It doesn't matter. It's all about really getting that good relaxing stretch. And then we'll move on to the final posture of Shavasana, or corpse pose. So just take your feet out long, maybe a little bit wide of the hips. Allow your arms to flop out to the side, palms up to the stars. And just make yourself long in your space here. If your lower back does not like this, you're welcome to bring the knees back up, feet in line with hips. So you find a place where you can release as many pressure points as possible. And here is where we integrate the benefits of our practice into our mind, body, and spirit. Allow those eyes to close, and we'll just breathe for a few cycles here. Just listening to the sound of your breath, tuning into any changes you feel in the tension or tightness of your body, any calmness in your mind. Cycles of breath, allowing your breath to deepen. Maybe starting to wake your extremities back up with some little wiggles of the fingers and toes. Bring the knees up over the chest. Keep breathing, and we'll roll onto one side, one palm pressed into the earth, and slowly press yourself up to a seated position that feels comfortable for you. Take your time. Wiggle out your shoulders, your neck. And I like to finish with 2 huge final breaths. So sitting tall in any position that feels great to you. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, sigh out through the mouth. One more time. Big inhale. And a big cleansing exhale out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me today. May you know love, may you speak love, and may you be love. And we hope to see you again soon.
On an exhale, rotate the upper body to the right. We're coming into Warrior 2. We're going to stretch out the arms. Last one.
That's ugly.
Woo!
Down, 2, 3. Again, we're being deliberate in our motions. We're keeping our chest up.
Engage that core. Grab your weights. Arms to a T.
do some arm circles forward.